Guess what I'm doing? No, not the game I'm reviewing, I'm sure you can all read. I've decided to play the complete Assassin's Creed series, including all the spin-off games. Quite the task, I know. But since I'm doing this, I may as well do what I did with Fallout Brotherhood of Steel, and take a look at another offshoot game from a mainstream series, with Assassin's Creed Bloodlines on the PSP. Before Ezio came along and became the Assassin's Creed poster child for a while with his trilogy of games, Altair actually had a trilogy before it was cool. Assassin's Creed Altair's Chronicles, and Assassin's Creed Bloodlines. How was Altair's Chronicles? It was okay. A 2.5D side-scroller with awkward controls and questionable physics. Graphically, it looks like a PS1 game. Story-wise, it gets a bit Holy Blood and the Holy Grail / the Da Vinci Code, with Altair searching for a chalice which turns out to be a woman. It ends pretty abruptly and open-ended, suggesting further Chronicles games that never happened. Well, until these came along, but they've got nothing to do with this one. Anyway, Bloodlines, the real third game in the series and not this one. Developed by Ubisoft Montreal and in conjunction with Kryptonite Games, a developer who, as the name suggests, mainly make games and ports for handheld consoles. Is that a good thing for Assassin's Creed? Well, Altair's Chronicles wasn't too bad, but that was a diversion from the usual gameplay style. Bloodlines is presented in the typical open-world sandbox format that Ubisoft has been making over and over again for the past decade, but on the PSP. Directly after the events of the first game, Bloodlines follows Altair returning to Acre, or Acre as it's pronounced in the game, to stop the remaining Templar stragglers as they plan to escape to Templar-occupied Cyprus. Based on true events when in 1191, after King Richard's acquisition of Cyprus, sold the island to the Templars for 25,000 silver, after he realised he had no real use for it. Good old-fashioned British imperialism. We start out with the usual tutorials. It's pretty much the same as before, but as it's on the PSP, a refresher is necessary. And like most PSP games, we immediately stumble into one of its biggest problems. One analog control. Assassin's Creed being a third-person game, having dual analog control makes things so much easier. So how does one control the camera this time? By holding down R and using the 4 face buttons for up, down, left and right. You're joking. Oh boy, this took some getting used to. And when I say getting used to, I mean not entirely. It became the norm, yes, but it was always hand-crampingly awkward. Apart from that, the controls are a standard. Before the Templars leg it to Cyprus, Altair infiltrates their stronghold in Acre and confronts Maria Thorpe, who has it in for Altair after the assassination of her former Grand Master, Robert de Sable.
Return to finish me off.
Not just yet. I want information. Why are the Templars sailing for Cyprus?
He fails at this and has no choice but to follow the Templars to Cyprus. This is one thing I like about the Assassin's Creed series. It intertwines its lore with real history in an interesting way. Exploring real-life locations and assassinating real historical figures really gives it some weight. The two Cyprian cities Altair will be parkouring around are Limassol and Kyrenia, which are divided up into districts. This is normal for the series, but for Bloodlines each district is its own loaded area due to the PSP's limitations, each only having one high point. This is not for uncovering the map as usual, the map is already accessible. This will uncover what side missions are available from these sparsely populated cities. Again, due to technical limitations, there aren't many people walking about. The in-game reason is that people stay in their homes due to the recent Templar occupation, which is fair enough. But this does take away one of the game's iconic stealth methods, blending into a crowd. But then a lot is taken away. No eagle vision, no horse riding, simplified combat, and no Desmond Miles. The synchronization bar is present, suggesting that Desmond is still in control here. Lucy?
Yeah?
Is there something wrong with the Animus?
No, why?
Well, everything is really low res and the draw distance is terrible.
Cyprus?
That makes no sense.
Your face makes no sense.
Okay, now you're just being—
Just shut up and liberate the damn island, Desmond.
One thing I was glad to see left out is the hundreds of collectible flags. Instead are Templar coins. Only a handful per area, but they actually serve a purpose. Buying upgrades. No vendors here, just a purchasing screen accessible anywhere. Lucy?
What?
If I need more throwing knife space, why do I have to find hidden money to buy them myself? Can't you just activate them for me?
Now that wouldn't be very realistic, would it? Now get back to roof prancing in a bathrobe.
Altair's main target is the new Grandmaster, Armand Bouchard, and a secret Templar archive hidden somewhere in Kyrenia. Ooh, an archive! We finally have a MacGuffin. With the help of the People's Rebellion and the slow conversion of Maria, Altair plans to relinquish the Templars of the archive. What could it contain? Lost Gospels? The Holy Grail? Another Apple of Eden, perhaps? Well, no. I would call this a spoiler warning, but not really. Any content is irrelevant. In fact, the ending is kind of anticlimactic. When Altair finally reaches the archive, it's empty. Why? The Templars are quietly moving it to another location because of the assassin's meddling. That's it. Altair defeats Bouchard, the Templars demolish the old archive around them, and they escape just in time in a cliched ending. As an Assassin's Creed game on PSP, it's been done very well. Kryptonite got as much Creed into this as they could before it would start to slow down. Compromises were made, and I think a good balance was achieved. On the other cramped hand, the camera controls are a pain, the music sticks when more data is loaded off the disc, the NPC AI is— yeah, and overall lore-wise, it's unnecessary. Like Altair's Chronicles before it, Bloodlines is a side quest, an expansion. So if you do go straight from 1 to 2, don't feel like you're missing anything important. As for me, now I'm done with Bloodlines, it's on to 2 and onwards. Ugh, what am I doing to myself? Seriously, Ubisoft, calm your tits. What did I say about oversaturation in the Family Guy review? Within 12 years, we have 22 games, 10 novels and more. So yeah, if you miss out all the side games, I wouldn't blame you one bit.